So glad to have you here. I'm Susan from the Chamber. We're going to do introductions and hear a great program. First, I do want to thank our sponsors. You enjoyed the yummy treats that we had here today. That's from Trisha. So Trisha, why don't you go ahead and stand up and tell us a little bit about Plate and Pour.
Hi everyone, Trisha Baker, owner of Plate and Pour. On the wall you see my husband. We're a husband and wife duo, just small coffee shop. We think we're small, but we like to be bigger than that. We offer a wide variety of coffees, teas, refreshers, pastries, you name it, we have it. We started off as a pastry shop. We're slowly introducing into more savory food. We do breakfast burritos with sticks and gravy. Just started soup for lunch, charcuterie boxes. We do bridal showers, events. Talk to me if you need any help.
Where you were located, just in case
400 East Side, right down the road.
Yeah, so look for the sign on the sidewalk and you know they're open. That's what you do. So,
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for providing those. Trisha just called and said, can I provide the coffee and the snacks and the treats? I said, of course.
Yes.
Thank you. So thanks for that. We're welcome. Okay. Well, we lost our. It won't let you go back. Okay, all right, well, glad that you guys are here today. Just a few housekeeping notes with the full house. We have some people joining us on Zoom, and if you are, everyone's muted just for the background noise. And then we will give you an opportunity to unmute, to introduce yourself, and then also at the end, so you can participate in the Q&A. And of course, this program, don't record it or use any information from this without permission of the presenter. So, I want to go around the room and do introductions. We did skip over the first slide too. Our Friday coffee sponsor, City of Jeff and Brandon, do you want to stand up? I'll give you an opportunity to speak later, but your slide got clicked over.
Okay.
Oh, City of Hope Summit, I'm sorry. You look speak, yeah.
Same thing, right? Brandon Ruger, I'm the city administrator for Hope Summit. Just recently joined the chamber and excited to work with you guys. We're a growing community. A lot of it has to do because of the gentleman in the back corner back there, Brian. The city administrator for Hope Summit, the mid-2000s, and one of the slides I had was actually kind of to dedicate to him because to show the growth of our community during that time. We've grown almost 50% in the last 20 years. Our population's gone up 53%. And that's huge.
There's that slide.
There you go.
If you don't mind, I'll drive for you, okay?
And not trying to knock the city of Jefferson by any means, because it's a great community. I live here, but Jeff City only grown 10% in the last 20 years. So we've got a lot of people coming to our community. We've got a lot of businesses coming. We just issued 3 new business licenses this week. And we're very driven and focused on trying to make businesses welcome in our community. We want businesses up there because people, there's not a lot to do in Hope Summit, but the small businesses, people like to come up. We like to partner with our businesses and the sponsorships. We do a lot of community activities. We got the Easter egg coming up in March 23rd. All these are free events. Annual Fireworks Festival, it's a huge turnout every year for us. And then we do a golf tournament in October now. We do it at Meadow Lake Acres Country Club. But all that money that we get through sponsorships, we put right back into the community. It doesn't go into the general fund. It's all used for parks or promoting our businesses. I was just telling Chrissy here, I've got a strong philosophy that if a business sponsors one of our events, I want to make sure they get some kind of return on investment for that sponsorship. So we started buying billboards to promote our annual fireworks festival, to get the business names out there. So just know we appreciate and respect the sponsorships you guys do for our city, and we want to make it beneficial for both the business and us. So I will take up any more time. But
anyone have any questions? How many people, just to show them, either live in Holt Summit or Callaway County or have their business here? We really are a part of our community, and we appreciate that. And I've enjoyed getting to know you, Brandon, and being involved in the Holt Summit Community Betterment Association and the partnerships that we share. So, yeah.
Brandon, excuse me, what is the total population of Holt Summit?
4,458 as of the 2020 census.
Thank you.
I have a question too. What do you see as your biggest driver for the population growth?
I think Holt Summit's always been a veteran community. I was just telling Chris and everything, the taxes up there, so whole some of the strictly funded off the sales taxes. So the property taxes are a little bit less. Everybody pays property taxes, but you don't pay any to the city. So that's always been a huge driver, I think, for people wanting to build houses up there because you don't pay quite as much of those taxes. And then, like I said, just the quiet bedroom feel. You don't have a lot of, unless you live right next to the highway, you don't have a lot of busy traffic and all that. So.
You want to give away your door prize? I know you brought it. Speaking of giving back, you kind of come over this way, let you.
So don't shoot me, but
I know.
I grew up in Old Summit and Jeff City, and Schulte's Donuts have always been.
And John's here.
They were still top notch, but we got a donut shop that opened a couple of years ago. It might give you a run for your money. And you did not win the gift certificate. Paul Sampson.
So there's a donut shop. Now, where is the donut shop located? What's the name of it?
It's called Donut House right here. It's right next to Break Time and the plaza on Simon Boulevard, across from the Dollar General.
Well, good, okay. Hold up your little stick and your slide, put her there. All right, good, thank you. I know. Okay, so I know we have a full house, but I still think it's important that we kind of share, go around the room and say your name and your business so you know your other chamber members that are here. Why don't you go ahead and start?
Hello everyone, Chrissy Salter for Lincoln Mark.
Hi everyone, Bethany Gibbs from Gibbs Construction.
Hi, Elaine Downs from ARSI, we're a construction company.
Samantha Gilpin with Shangri-La Dispensaries.
I'm Blaze Guerrero, also with Shangri-La Dispensaries. Kristen Hoffman with Monarch Title.
Denise Pittman, Remax Jefferson City, also serving as the 2024 president of the Jefferson City Area Board of Realtors.
I'm Cameron Gerber with the Jeff City Industry.
Roger Brisley, Workforce Development.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Julius King, attorney at law, King Legal and Consulting.
Morning, Gay Saga, Amherst, Missouri, your chamber chair this year, and I'm going to put a plug in real quick for the Women's Symposium, March 20th. If you have not registered, see me after, it's going to be an awesome event.
Lauren Pitts with Chamber.
Good morning, Stu Murphy. Julie, retired, thank you.
Bob Fenwell, retired. This way.
Yeah, we are.
Oh,
Yes, we are.
John Schulte from Schulte's Grocery, going guy.
Bradley Kellerman with the Boy Scouts of America, consumer of John Stone's.
Christopher Scott with Farmers Insurance, also treasurer for the Red Slipper Warrior Project, and candidate for Callaway County's Western District Commissioner.
Jamie Meyer, Custom Promotional Branding.
Beth Cowgill with Liberty Family Medicine, also part of the 2024 leadership class with Jefferson City, and hope to be a new consumer of Schulte's Donuts.
Getting old.
A lot of smart.
Aaron and Michael with Mid-American Bank.
Joan Welks, I am with Central Bank. I'm the YP Professional Development Co-Chair for 2024.
DJ Drury, Committee of List, so entrepreneur, Jeff City.
Yeah, we do. Renee, you want to introduce yourself? The projector is.
Rebecca Brown, Chamber Staff.
Molly Bryan, City of Jefferson. I'm a 2024 Chamber Ambassador.
Sheila Perry, City of Jefferson.
Cecile Landrum, Gratz Real Estate, and I'm a consumer of both Schulte's and Donut Palace.
Ken Enlow with Special Olympics, Missouri.
Deb Bushman, Holland Family Chiropractic, Chamber Champion, Ambassador, and West Side Business Association with VP. Angie Plankett, Prolific Exteriors. We are actually based out of Mexico, so I'm happy to be here in Memphis.
Frank Pricey, Evening Review.
Virginia Steyer with Post Builders, General Contractor, Commercial Builder.
Jackie Coleman, Coleman and Associates. I'm a consumer of the donuts as well. And for our women's symposium, men,
Definitely sign up. We'd love to have you there. It's going to be awesome. So it's just not for women. So please sign up if you haven't done so already. I'm on the planning committee.
And one of our panelists of successful women as well.
Yeah.
Solutions in 11 children's rights.
Brian Grant, Jefferson.
Tim Taylor, Register Reward Project. As a retired state trooper, I am an equal opportunity donut consumer.
Paul Sampson, Jefferson City Regional Economic Partnership.
Toronto, Jefferson City Regional Economic Partnership, and I am BFFs with John because I go there every day.
Leslie Turner, I'm a commercial lender at Central Bank, and back when you took your paycheck, did it in cash at Schulte's? Yeah.
Adam Garnett with Ameren. Chris Korsmeyer with Ameren.
Hi, I'm Wes Christensen from Stadium Dental.
Trisha Baker, Clayton Ford.
My name is Mackenzie Job. I own a daycare for dogs called Kitty's Critter Care. I'm also running to represent Ward 5 on the Jefferson City Council.
Mike Lester, City Council, Ward 2.
I'm Sherry Willett with Dogwood Antiques on Missouri Boulevard.
Yeah, inside, good.
Aaron Clark, Board Photography, Studio Dumpling.
Also Erin Clark, Studio Dumpling Entrepreneur.
Nicole Manor, photographer.
Carrie Turgeon, Carrie's Hallmark Shop.
Yeah, we're doing introduction.
Yeah, Claudia Young, the library.
Anybody else? All right, anybody online want to unmute yourself and let us know you're here?
Tracy King with AT&T. Laura Lowney with All-in-One and Longfellows.
Celicia Fowler with the Builders Association.
Rochelle Weaver, Cumulus Media. Donna Dietz, Dietz Enterprises.
Katrina
Janet
Tinnen, Central
Warinlow,
Bank.
SSM Health.
Katrina Tinnen, Central Bank.
We do have about 20 folks joining us online, just so you know. If there's anybody else, last call, introduce yourself. Okay.
With Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, Susan Cook. Okay. All right, I do want to welcome some new members. This is a group of members that have joined the chamber since we got together last. Epic Real Estate Group, Heath Higgins. Icarus Aviation, Charles Beasley. Jefferson City Animal Hospital, Elijah Pittman. Julie Allen is retired. And then with Keller Williams, Nicole Davis. Mary Maids, Jeff Butcher. Northwestern Mutual, Justin Elliott. OEO Energy Solutions, Tiara Anderson. Take 5 Oil Change, Adam Ryle. Paolo Dunstrom, she's retired, and the Village of Wardsville, Libby Shipman. So we welcome these new members, and I know there's a few of you who in here, it's your first time to come to a Friday coffee. We have some new faces, so it's great. Glad that you're here. I'm glad that you joined the chamber. We already got our little introduction from Brandon, but I did want to also recognize the co-sponsor, Cumulus Media. They helped us with that sponsor. So the City of Holt Summit was promoted with the chamber in our announcements and today, but also have an opportunity to get some commercial announcements from Cumulus Radio. And Rochelle was online. She couldn't join us in person today. Rochelle, is there anything you want to add about that sponsorship?
The next step would be Brandon and myself to set up a meeting. We'll craft a 30-second radio ad that he can run on any of these stations. We talk to close to 200,000 people each week, and it would be a great way to let everything he just said today in your meeting about the great city of Holt Summit, we can put in a radio ad, and then that could be for our listeners to hear.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Thank you.
Some other quick announcements. This is a great networking event. We have this every month. We also have Chamber Connections every month. It's a different networking event than this. It's more of a social, you bring your business cards, it's from 4 to 5:30, we call it Chamber Connections. It's at a different chamber member restaurant or bar. So in March, on the third Thursday, it's the 21st, so it's at Courtyard Marriott. And Mid-America Bank is our co-host, and who's here from Mid-America Bank? Here you are. So Mid-America Bank will be there, they're our co-host. We appreciate Cat Country and KWS for being our media sponsors for that. So it's March 21st from 4 to 5:30, so I hope that you take the opportunity to come by and meet some other chamber members there. We talked a little bit about the Women's Symposium Round Robins. There are some flyers on here. Does anyone want to add anything else about gay? Oh, Ashley, you're in the room, the Women's Symposium?
I'll let Kate talk. The Women's Symposium, we talked about it a little bit, but do sign up. I mean, it's our first for this year. We're going to try to do this annually. Our motivational speaker, Jennifer Bardot, will begin the day and end the day. Maxine Clark from Build-A-Bear, she's the founder of Build-A-Bear, and she is amazing. We'll have a women's small business panel, as well as our successful business panel. We're going to have networking opportunities, because I think it's really important for women to talk to other women and think about how they can be intentional, and then have those mentors, thinking about as they advance in their careers, meeting with other women and talking through that. So I think it's going to be a fabulous day. We're going to start with a light breakfast, we'll provide lunch, so please do sign up if you get the chance.
We can't see the date.
Gay is it okay for the guys?
Oh, it's the
The guys to come?
Absolutely, because men support women, and so it's really important, if guys are interested in coming, please come. We will have, I know there will be some other men there, so you won't be the only one, so Gary's gonna be there for what? So I think it's really important, it's for supporting women as well, so absolutely. There's a question over here, wasn't there?
They were just wondering about the date.
Oh, okay, great, yes, please sign up, talk to me afterwards if you want, talk to Jackie, talk to Ashley. It's gonna be a really cool event.
Okay.
Question.
Yes,
You have to sign up, it's not just open.
you need to sign up, because we need to make sure we have enough seats, we actually are gonna have tables, and then providing the food and stuff.
That's for everybody, that shows up, correct?
The fee is if you're a chamber member, it's $95, if you're not a chamber member, it's $115. But if you're a chamber member, we have office packs, 3 for $250. So, with everything that we're providing through the day, and all the speakers that were there, you'll have a takeaway, a nice book that you'll be able to write in, and some different things, and prizes throughout the day. So we're gonna have prizes throughout the day, as well with a great prize at the end of the day, our wellness package. So it's gonna be good.
Gary, I'll turn it over to you to introduce our.
I'm excited to do that this morning, but before I do, John Schulte, I know you're probably a little bit embarrassed about all the attention you got. Just to make you feel better, I will send you an invoice.
Gary's in there almost every morning, now your prices may go up. Keep that in mind.
We have 850 members in the chamber. Every one of them is doing their part to make our community more attractive, provide different opportunities and choices in our community, and make this a great place to live. This gentleman that I get to introduce this morning is going to bring you up to date on a lot of exciting projects he has going on in our community. And it will probably also be an eye-opener for some of you, just to know all the different things that he's engaged in. And so he accepted our invitation to come today and kind of bring us up to date and then take your questions. He's definitely, if you look up serial entrepreneur in the dictionary, there's a picture of DJ Drury there. So please help me welcome DJ.
It's better for my photo, stand up, please. Okay.
Get the nervousness over with first.
Good,
So hi, I'm DJ Drury. I'll give you a quick background scenario. I talk a lot, forgive me. I can sit here for 4.5 hours and tell you the excitement level that we have and things that we're trying to bring to this community to better ourselves and everybody else around us. So I will just give you the brief insides of a couple minutes. She told me not to be too long-winded. Everybody's got a job here. Unfortunately, I don't get paid by the hour, but I wish I did. So start off with, I moved to Missouri right at 20 years ago. The long story short, it is a much longer story, but I worked for Walmart, I was an auditor, we were looking at locations, we found the location on the east of the town, so we were soliciting employees and community members to see how they felt about the domain, so on and so forth. Back in my younger years, I might have been a little more party animal. I was out in Russellville at someone's farm on a party, there was about 45 of us, it was July 4th weekend, and I met my business partner, Chad Stockman. And this guy's running around, didn't know him from Cheyenne, and he told me he's gonna take over Jeff City one day. I was like, well, I'm tired of corporate mentality. Let's give it a shot. I quit my job, I graduated high school a little early. I was like, let's just give this a whirl and see what happens. I'll tell you what, entrepreneurship is one of the hardest things you can go through. Until you do it, you don't have an appreciation for it. Every day I feel, just this week, getting slammed on Facebook for the incidental little things that happen on a daily basis makes you question whether you're doing the right decisions or not. And, sorry, I get emotional sometimes. So, you have to forego those things and look for the bigger picture. The bigger picture is what are you leaving as your legacy? What are you making your community better? So, hence, I quit my job, moved up here, lived paycheck to paycheck for several years, until we as a partnership do very well. Everybody says me, and thank you for introducing me. It's not just me, it takes a team, and Chad is brilliant in the things that he does. It's just me that's carrying the coattail because I'm the closest person. So, you know the bag that horses wear behind them? That's what I get all the time. But anyway, behind me, there's 100 other people behind me that are helping me to get to where we want to be and achieve these projects and goals. So, some of the things I say, I try to speed these up. Might sound negative, there might be opportunities, there's problems with city council things, there's problems with building code things, there's problems with financing the world. All of those things are all challenges, how we can work together to get through that. And I think out of all of this and the things you're gonna hear me say, the biggest issue is how can we speed those up and drop the damn red tape to make these things go faster? That's the biggest opportunity that I see hindering growth. I'm not gonna say the world, because I'm not as worldly, in our community specifically. And I cross boundaries, I go to Callaway County, we had a restaurant in Fulton, we have businesses in St. Louis, at Lake of the Ozarks, we are all over the place. Am I the size of farmers? No, they've got a team of people that can do this shit for them. I have to figure this out myself. So, in perspective, I just wanted to come, introduce ourselves. I'm always willing to talk to anybody. I've got 3 little kids, so I have to phase my time in and make sure I'm dad for second. Hopefully I leave them a world of opportunity that carry on for me. Yeah. So, let's talk about Stockman Stoneworks. And I'll go fast. If you want to ask a question, fine. Otherwise, we'll wait till the end. When people have to leave, have to leave. So, Stockman Stoneworks is about a 22-year-old company. The long story short is Chad was one of the biggest buyers of landscaping products in this town. He went to Midwest Block, asked for a better deal. They told him no. He said, okay, I'll show you. He bought the equipment, started himself, and I literally was working out of the back of a van for the first 2 years we worked here. Do you remember that van? Yes, I do. By the way, this is Chad's sister Sherry, my best sister-in-law ever. So, anyway, to process a credit card, I had to run on a 4-wheeler a mile up the road, run a credit card, run back down the hill. So trials and tribulations again, how you grow to now you can do everything from your phone. In 2016, we signed an agreement for a $22 million operation. It got delivered in December of 2019. And guess what happened in 2020? The world shut down. We had 64 containers and billions of dollars sitting on our parking lot. We didn't know what to do with it. Chad, doing his thing, shut down his installation crew, hired some people from St. Louis, and did it himself. So we had the opportunity to have an open house in October, thanks for the ones that did come. And about every 3 years, we try to have an open house out there so you guys can see behind the scenes in the manufacturing operation. So the last 3 years, we've been 30 to 40% up in sales. This year looks to be starting off the same way, even though I see some downturns in new buildings. We believe because we're getting into new product lines and new locations, our sales will continue to grow. So that's the short version. If you haven't seen Stockman, you might see us. Everything from building materials to brick, block. Since the other company in town is no longer locally owned, we'll happily take your money for you. So that's Stockman Stoneworks.
You breezed over this pretty quickly, but I want to just point out that Stockman Stoneworks and the new manufacturing facility that they built is state of the art. It is amazing. The amount of equipment that's back there that manufactures all of their materials, all of them. It's all made right here in Jefferson City. It is amazing technology. If you haven't seen it, maybe BJ would
Set
be
us up,
willing
we
to
do,
set
we'll
up
have,
another
we'll have them
open
walk you through and
house.
show you. You don't have an appreciation when you go to Lowe's and see a $1.28 block and then know what goes into that process to make that, it's incredible. Okay, so Canterbury Hill, we've had this establishment about 12 years. This was kind of, all of our stories are fun. Give me a cocktail and I'm telling you, I make you laugh all day long. We were one of those people that seen it on social media that was like, oh my gosh, their last weekend, we gotta go up there. We didn't like the food very much, and we loved the location. When we found out more information, we did never intend on owning a restaurant. It was gonna be, we wanted the commercial real estate and to lease it out. Well, of course, Chad's dreams are up here. And we're gonna do this, and we're gonna maintain grapevines, but there is no restaurant here that's gonna be able to do that. Well, then we'll just do it ourselves. Okay. So the first year we hired the guy that used to own Everett's in Columbia. He came down, trained us, set it up, did everything for the first couple of years. And from then we've been on our own. We added a full service restaurant, everybody kind of knows the line. In the last couple of years, we've been gracious enough, Susan outdid herself last year with the Chamber Gala. What an amazing event. I think we have the opportunity again this year.
Yeah, we're already on the calendar, we are.
It is, okay, good.
And those floats on the lower one shamelessly are from the Chamber Galas of the past, so, yeah.
Beautiful event, but up there, we just hired a new chef and 3 new banquet staff, and it's already making its way through, I think my upstairs room, I can hold 180 comfortably. Outside, gosh, I think 1,200 was our biggest day, and that was the eclipse 4 years ago, whatever it was. Otherwise, just like any service industry, we have our bumps, our bruises. Just send me a note, and I'll put my tail between my legs and yell at somebody for me. So that's pretty much that establishment in a nutshell. Let's talk about Marshall Street. So 208 Marshall Street was a building. It's always been apartments, but before there were 29 units in the top 3 floors. The basement was always empty for parking. We have since gone in and gutted the building. We've had it about 1 year and 3 months. Took us about 8 months to get to this point. We stopped when we bought Simonsen. That's where we're coming. So now we are about ready. It's hard to see from the pictures, but all the floors have these big gaping holes in them that we're pouring 2-inch poured concrete on top, solidifying the building. It's locked up, it doesn't leak. Our plan is to put 25 apartments in there, so they're a little bit bigger, but very industrial style, exposed bricks, firewall ductwork. We are about to turn our paperwork in to ask for a property tax abatement, because the hard fact is, and for many of the months we've talked about this in the different groups that I try to go with Missy Bono and the cities and different parts, the building cost is astronomical right now. Our budget is $3.2 million when we started. Right now it's at 3.6. And that's just me, hey, how much is the cabinets going up? How much is this going up? How much is the concrete going up? So that takes those apartments from $825 a month to $925 a month, then throw on 3% more interest, you just made your housing unaffordable. So it's either something has to come back like MOPUP, something has to give, or the city is trying to help, and that's where we go after the sales tax abatement and the property tax abatement to be able to do projects like this. So we're doing the concrete, and we're stopping until we get those items done. It's always again, give and take with different municipalities to try to incur those costs, but get the community to be on board with those. So the plans are done. Grady Allen drew all the plans for us. The electrical's going in, I think, in June. Our time frame for this, if the county doesn't fall apart, is about this time next year. Any other questions?
No, DJ, thank you for doing that. I mean, we need housing so bad in Jefferson City, so I think that's gonna be a nice addition.
And I'll elaborate on that, because we have 67 units currently, not counting Simonsen or Marshall Street. Literally, if I post something on Zillow, I get 13 applicants a day. A day. I'm gonna say of that, 50% of them are well qualified. 25% are, yeah, they'll fall into my parameters, and I keep a little bit higher standards. And then the other 25% is like, no, here's me. But they still need a place to live. We still need those options. It's how can we get there? But, and I'm sorry to say it like this, until everybody else or some other people start ponying up and helping, it's not gonna get there. It's not gonna get any better. So, hence, okay, anything on Marshall Street so far?
Yeah, are you still planning on parking? Is that, or have you ditched the parking?
That's Simonsen, is the big problem there. I'll get to that one. This building in the back has 16 parking places. It does not have enough parking. Nicely, there's 2 other lots around this building that are not for sale, and I've talked to the current owners, and they don't want to budge right now, but it's something that I will continue to work on. There is some street parking, but it's gonna come down to whether to have each unit have 1 designated parking place, I'm gonna have to require more land to make it above and beyond the 16 that's currently there.
What the units that are in here, what size are you talking about? I mean, a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom?
Sure, there are three units that are 1,800 square feet. There are 3 units that are 1,200 square feet. All the rest are between 700 and 900. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, most of those, the other ones were 2 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom is probably the rest of them. And I'm talking probably, the last time I did an analysis, it was like $835 a month. And that counts internet. It was a big deal back then. Again, I'm trying to reiterate how projects take so long and what happens to begin with. The previous owner, what's the right word in real estate, they used lipstick. It was very Moulin Rouge. Once we tore out the walls, there were busted pipes, there were things that would have been condemnable in my opinion. Now, again, starting with a clean shell, that added, probably about 12% to our budget. But it's the right thing to do. But I can absorb some of those things, but the rest of it, I've got to find other ways and means to make it work. We haven't given up. It's just, I can only do so much as the things are presented to us. Any other questions on Marshall? Okay. The Marmaduke House, this is actually a very interesting property. The old Warden's house, built in 1861. If you don't know the CBD, anybody does not know what CBD is? Diane Gillespie and their crew do amazing things for their skeleton staff, city. But they do wonders with the convention center and all the things they have their fingers in. We're giving them some menu space at both restaurants. We're trying to promote, there's an awesome museum in the basement. Don't tell her I said this, but a lot of evenings we go there late and I'm trying to skirt the $2 fee to get in, but show as we get people to the winery and our out-of-town guests, we show them that so they go back and tell other people, hey, when you're in Jeff City, go see this. They need all the support they can get. That's one big way to bring business into this town and get free, we call it free money, the tourism money is free money. So if you don't have a chance to support them or haven't, please do. Even as little as go see the museum, do a prison tour, tell everybody else to do it, even if you go in at once, promote them a lot. After the tornado, and I'm gonna give you a holdback of this property, after the tornado, the air conditioners were gone, the landscaping had to be redone, the windows upstairs were bad. I mean, there's a slew of problems that we dealt with in the first 3 or 4 months. Glad we did. We are gonna rent the upstairs, finally we're ready to do so. We're working with Diane to try to find the appropriate tenant. There's like 5 offices, but you have to lock them because there's only one way in, one way out of this building. So you have to kind of get along and trust whoever those tenants are and the fun fact, again, coming back to some governmental things, this property, and forgive me for not knowing all the terminologies, has an easement with DNR because before Hawkins bought it, they were gonna tear it down, it was a state-owned property. They came in and said, yeah, you can have it, but we get final say-so on anything you do. For 30 years, not a single foot stepped on that property. Guess what happened 2 weeks after we bought the property? We wanna know what you're doing, you have to get that approved, we need your paint color. I'm not gonna tell you some of the other things that they want. So that has now slowed down because the decks need to be replaced. We wanna use SHPO, which is State Historic Preservation Office money. We wanna apply for that. Oh my God, they want a 300-page document to replace the pavers up front. I make pavers. I know what a paver is, why do you care? So it's slowing down the progress of us getting ahead and making these even better than what they are. So, I'm not trying to sound like negative Nelly, I'm showing you that when people go, oh my God, it's been sitting there for 4 years, why haven't you done anything? Well, there's reasons why, I promise. Ask both sides of the story. Next. Madison's, kind of a fun story too. Rob and I were neighbors in Foxfire for 20 years. I'm not gonna go or not. So, good thing we did it when we did. Lots of changes aesthetically. I'm gonna say it, I say it 1,000 times, we have no menu changes in mind. It's all aesthetics, some cleaning, some painting, some reorganizing, a better hostess stand area for to-goes. I had Jim Dyke, I bought his painting and put it in there for the hostess area. We are updating the logo, we're where we can order online, so they don't have an machine. So bringing the building and the place into at least last year is what our goal is right now. But again, if it's the same chefs, the same everything is there, I am not a foodie, I'm a chicken tender, cereal, cheeseburger guy. So it's not me that makes any menu changes, I promise you that. But it's an icon establishment that we just could not let go to waste. And I don't sugarcoat anything, sorry Sherry, I say everything. The place, we've had it for 8 weeks now, I've lost $48,000. Promise you, I can show you a P&L. But it's because of the portions, it's because of the out of control payroll, it's because of all the things that needed opportunities. Somebody has to take that risk. I told you, I'll take the risk because I think the long-term investment will be there. So I think in another couple months, we'll have it all turned around, it's coming back to fruition. I've seen Sandy, we do articles with people that have been there 30, 40 years. You know, she's like, hey, I see somebody every day that I didn't see since 10 years ago, or, you know, we made this customer mad because of X. I'm glad they're coming back finally. Give it a chance, it's a service business, we're gonna do the best we can. But otherwise, again, we have no concerns to change there. The only thing I've heard on this part of it, which we voiced our opinion, we hope the conference center goes through, that's our position. We just hope maybe they build a parking garage first, so we have parking on the side, and then around the other part of the building. Where that stumble came from, and I say that is because when they redid the bridge, remember when they shut down half the bridge? I lost 30% sales at the winery in 1 year. Because I'm not driving across the bridge, I'm not fighting the traffic. Again, you have to be able to sustain that. And I know, as long as we work together and build those cars, we can do that. So, here or there, that's Madison's. Oh, I'm sorry. My parents are the liaisons, we did not want any more restaurant businesses. We were having Sunday dinner, and we were talking about this, and my mom and dad worked at Walmart, Sam's, and I said, hey, we're tired of corporate mentality too, we got 10 years till we retire, we'll do it. I'm like, are you sure? And we went away with that, by Thanksgiving we were under contract, and that's how that acquisition acquired.
Are they still sure?
They have not had buyer's remorse yet. They asked why they traded a 40-hour-a-week job for a 65-hour-a-week job. That's the only thing. So, other than that, awesome. Okay. So, the fun fact about Simonsen. Literally, this building dream came up. We were upstairs, Missy.
Yes.
What meeting was that?
Oh my gosh. I've had too many meetings with you to notice that.
We weren't dancing at this one, probably. We had one of the rep meetings or a housing meeting or something upstairs at the winery. And likewise, the same thing, how we get ourselves in these situations. We're like, oh, that would be kind of fun. Let's go talk to them about that. Well, likewise, when we started digging in, I was very fortunate to spend a lot of time with Alan and understand where her mindset was and their company was after. The motif just changed. And because of the economic changes, larger corporations want 30 and 40% return on their money. Little old Jeff City guys, we're okay with 10 or 12%, so we're like, hey, we can do this. A lot of it's having the crew, with the manufacturing facility, with the properties and the crew and the construction people that we have. We can do these kind of things for less money than going and hiring a larger company to come in and do the whole thing from start to finish. So after some negotiation going through and understanding what we thought was in place to help with this building, we purchased it. The goal was, and this is, get down to the case in point of it. Solidify the building so it wasn't gonna be torn out. It's bad. when the building was being flooded with water, and you're walking through 4 inches of water that stood for weeks at a time with every rain, no wonder the building's in disarray. So Chad's first goal was to get the building dry. So we bought humidifiers, fans, and the first thing we did was the roof. The roof, there's not an upper picture, but the main school is about 85% done, but there's not a leak one in that part. The 92 addition, which is where the offices were, this piece is also done. The gym is the only thing we have not touched, and there's still a swimming pool in there if it rains. But we were able to pull up half of the gym floor, we were able to save that. Where these problems come through, there's been some problems with what we thought some name changes, and with the SHPO money, with the sales tax and the property tax abatement, oh, it's just a simple name change. It's 7 months and $20,000 into it, I still don't have a name change. But we're working through some of them, but still, my point earlier is speed this shit up and let's get this open. How do we get past these holes? I'm not gonna put another, besides my labor dollars, we're cleaning it out, we're the mold, the asbestos, and we're working on brownfield grants right now. All these things we thought were in place, oh, they're not in place. And this is little old me sitting at a desk with a pile of papers this tall, reading them on Sunday night, trying to figure out, okay, what can I do here? So our main goal was to make sure the building wasn't torn down. Now, the 24-month goal, which is in our contract with the city, is to have the building sewed up and dry. We are planning to replace the windows on the top floors besides the bottom floor because the vandalism is ridiculous. Last Sunday at 8:20 at night, we're walking around the building with the police officers trying to find somebody because they pulled a piece of plywood off and got the building. I don't know who in their right mind would go and put money into a building that continually gets broken into. We have to fix that problem first. But from there, the asbestos, sewing the building up and making sure it wasn't going to be torn down was our first goal. Jazz said, absolutely not, we can't lose the building like that. Rhetorical numbers will get close. It's 126,000 square feet, counting the hallways, 96,000 square feet usable. Even if we get it down to where it's not leaking, that's going to be cheap storage space by the time we're done. We won't make that decision until probably the end of 25 as I start talking to people about who is interested in some of the projects to put in this building. Our goal right now is 54 apartments, 3 commercial offices, a restaurant, a cigar bar, a whiskey barber shop, and a coffee shop. The entire second floor, we removed the auditorium seats, and we, the winery, would like to run that as a venue, kind of like a mini performing arts theater. So we can have bigger comedy shows, we can have some events and guest speakers and business advisors and so forth come in and use all the outskirt classrooms as basically classrooms. Or private events, let's say, the chamber wants to host 30 people over here and make them feel like special VIPs. And everybody can compartmentalize and do the same thing. We'll also do regular weddings. It's kind of a cool venue I went to. There's one in Oklahoma. Same kind of project. They did it right before COVID, so their cost analysis is way better. It's a neat concept. It's not something else that's done anywhere else. Jeff City is great, but we need some entertainment things in this town. Everybody drives to Columbia, Kansas City, or St. Louis to do anything. Even if we get some B-list stars. What's the winery on the way to the lake? Well, they can have concerts and get B-list people. Do we ever have those people in Jeff City? Because there's nowhere to hide. So, here or there, that's kind of what our envision is for this building. Once I finish these first 2 obstacles with the city, the next part is to give us all PUD. Don't have to know this for. Is anybody on? Basically, we're compartmentalizing this district. It's our own building code, so we can have multi-use there. It's still residential right now. Again, I'm not gonna go put $100,000 in drawings and plans and pictures until I know, yes, your building can be used for that. Is it snap of fingers, somebody can say, we don't support that. No, you can't do that. So that's our next step, is solidifying the property tax, sales tax, which we should be about done with, getting the PUD. Hopefully, in 24 more months, we'll have all of those things done. And then I've had meetings by who wants to run the barbershop, who wants to do this. That's kind of the update for Simonsen. I'm still, I think my newspaper article somebody posted out there was we were fighting with SHPO about parking. To clarify something, it's not the tree that's the issue. It's the aesthetics that the parking lot creates by getting rid of the green grass, because that's what was there in the 1900s, versus look We're in 2024, we have cars, we have to park somewhere. And if I can't have parking, we can't get this many people in this building at one time. The next slide, which kind of just plays into the same part, answers part of this question.
Oh, that slide's not in there.
Oh,
There's a blank slide, so you can give him
That's
this
fine,
one.
so it ties into this same comment, because we're always trying to find ways to work around some of the issues. Everybody knows what Major Field is, which is that track below Simonsen. That did not come with the building. This school board still owns that, the city has first right of refusal. We did not want to purchase that and put hundreds of thousands of dollars into that just for a parking lot. So some other advocates and I have gotten together, looking at forming a 501c3 and turning that into a farmer's market, teaming up with Lincoln. So then there's 4 or 5 of us absorbing this cost and come up with a use for this field. I'm not gonna tell you what the holdback is, but anybody in this room can guess at the moment. So, public support is where it has to go. It may not be exactly what you want, but is it better than what's there now? Yes, it is. So, and again, I apologize if you think it sounds negative at some point. I'm just very factual. We get to the point, this is how we get things done.
Can you go, so I didn't see the article. What are your plans for parking on this one? That you said you're gonna run into some trouble, but.
So there's 71 parking places across the road that came, that's where the teachers parked before. On the side of the building, without having an aerial, it's kind of hard. But once you come to the side of the building, first of all, that has to come down and be excavated about 4.5 foot, because fire trucks can't get in there right now, it's a safety hazard, it screws. Taking that down, we want to wrap to the front, what I call the front, the original front of the building where the horse and carriages came up with that big grassy knoll. We want to add another 71 parking places there. It goes down the hill about halfway. The reference to the tree is the tree, the only tree that's left after the tornado. That parking goes right up to that tree over to, I think that's Marshall Street on the other side. That's what we want to do, and that's where SHPO is giving us the biggest kickback, not the city, scenario here. SHPO, the whole reason to try to appease SHPO was to get the $12 million of historic tax credit money. Here's the other problems we run into. To replace a door closer that looks old, it's $350. To rebuild that door closer is $1,200. Why am I gonna go spend $1,200 of your tax money? We're not gonna order one for $350. Bad decisions, bad insurance. Why are we pushing to spend more when we don't have to? All questions I would like answers to. Anybody else? Yeah.
Who's your general contractor for all this construction?
You wanna know who? Chad Stockman. We do everything in-house, and then we sub our people out to come help us.
DJ, sorry, you were really fast. 54 apartments, 3 commercial offices, and then I missed the rest.
Whiskey, barber shop,
Okay.
coffee shop, restaurant, cigar bar.
Can you do whiskey/hair salon?
Do you know what? I have a lady that works for behavioral health. We did an event for her yesterday in Drury, and she called me, she's like, DJ, you know, I'm not gonna go to Blue Lotus, but you know in Columbia, they have little 15-minute chairs out in the middle in front of everybody, can you put one of those in too? And I'm like, that's a great idea. So, to answer your question, I think we could probably do another section for women too.
That's a blow dry part.
A blow dry?
Oh,
Yes. Any other questions? I'm an open book. I love to share any help, advice, all those things. My email is always open.
I have just not a question or a comment, but one of the things that I think we, as business owners, are struggling with is all the negative social media comments that come across. DJ kind of referenced one this week. I feel like all the businesses in this town are getting hammered with just the pettiest little things that it's so easy to go on social media and make a comment about. But really, in fact, if you just went to the actual business owner and said, hey, I have a concern about this, I have no doubt that the business owner would effectively try to resolve the issue instead of getting on social media, and then it creates this negative firestorm. And I think some of the worst things for this town are the good, bad, and ugly Facebook groups that are out there, because all they do is read negativism, and that is bad for this community, for everybody. And we've got to stop that somehow or another. We need to fight back and stop it.
I get a little argumentative on there, and sometimes I have a friend group and I'll send a message to them like, oh my God, I'm gonna respond like this, it's been half my day defending myself, and I'm like, Jake, don't do it. You're just opening a world of yourself to, they're gonna find a little thing, think of the bigger picture.
TJ, with that roof being flat, have you guys thought of doing any like gardening space on the roof or anything like that?
Yes, we have. No, it's not attainable because structurally, that building's been added on to like 7 times. So the center, if you really looked at Simonsen, it's a bad representation, but the center of the building is concrete and everything around is plywood. So we had to replace, again, why it took so long, you've probably seen us working up there, every ounce of this plywood that is 2 foot suspended up in the air had to be replaced, and then we call them poles and supports, all of that had to be replaced. So the roof access to, for what you would gain on return to build a set of steps, right now you got a little idiot ladder that my fat butt's trying to crawl up there on the weekends to get up there, you're not gonna get it any better for what you're gonna potentially gain.
There's a question online.
Okay.
How do you feel about the farmer's market plan for Major Field?
Love it. That's what we were talking about for the other parts. I think it's a great way to use that property to make countries their current situation is advantageous. That you're gonna, like I said, there's 5 different groups of us that are putting that together to bring in more traffic to downtown and to an area that has been like that for what, 4 or 5 years already. Everybody keeps saying, well, we have plans to put this over here and plans to put this over here, and we don't know. Maybe in the future we might need it. How long is the future gonna go? Take the first viable option, something that can actually produce and do it. This building's sat empty for 4 years. They took a chance and did an option, and we're doing it. We don't even have all our approvals and everything that we need to continue, and we're doing it. Lack of a better term, excuse me, you should have got off the bottom. Yes, dear.
I just wanted to add, Susan Cook came yesterday to Board of Realtors, gave a quick little lunch and learn. She's with River City Habitat. And housing is a problem in Jefferson City. It is no problem. We do not have enough houses, we do not have enough rentals. And the negativity on good, bad, and ugly, it is a real thing. Because we are a society of instant gratification. We want it, and we want it yesterday. We do not have enough people living in our community to fill the spaces, the positions that need to be filled, to give people the workforce. We can't house them. So people are having to drive here to go to work, and it's not feasible. We're bringing people in from Columbia to work the starting paid jobs per se. They're losing money to come to work, so they're not going to. So when you're going through the fast food lines to get your Chick-fil-A or your Arby's or your McDonald's, and you're sitting there getting mad because it's taking time, it's because they don't have workers. Because we don't have houses to put our workers in. It's a real concern.
Lincoln University and I have had several conversations, and Michigan's probably present for a couple of those. They have these graduates that are coming out, they'll take $60,000 to $80,000 a year jobs. They're not gonna go buy a $500,000 house. They need to live in a downtown apartment where they don't mow, they can ride a bike to work, they can do those parts. And that's the new style of living that, forgive me, I'm still kind of in that class, but millennials want that. Right. They want to travel, do their things, and they want zero home maintenance. Let me pick up the phone and call you when I have a problem, not let me figure out how to fix my own problem. Fine. That's what that housing's for. But because we don't have any of that mid-level professional housing for those students, they graduate and they get out of town. Yes?
Hey, I just want to commend you on being part of the solution to Jeff City's. I'm like you, I don't have a filter either, so I appreciate what you're doing, and you're the one saying, I'll put my money where my mouth is, versus a lot of the negative Facebook things that they want to create a problem, but they don't want to try to find a solution for that problem, and I appreciate you being the solution.
And I say we, because again, me, I'm a prettier face than what Chad is, and you don't like to talk very much. So that's why I say there's more than me, there's a team of me's behind us to make this all work. So, anybody else? Yeah.
And I would echo that, and I think as fellow business-minded and community-minded people in the room, you mentioned earlier possibly needing some kind of support or public support. So when you get to that point, certainly let us know as chamber members, as advocates in the community, because those of us in the room want to see this succeed. It's good for all of us. What you're doing helps everybody. So however we can help, keep us all in line.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we're gonna end on that note. I apologize for, we got some.
I'm sticking around.
Things on the agenda, and DJ, you're gonna stick around a little bit. That's an amazing story. Thank you for everything.
Thanks for having me.
Just a quick update, mark your calendar, April 23rd, the State of the City and the County. It's presented by SSM St. Mary's, Hitachi and Unilever are also supporting that event at the Capitol Plaza. It'll be a great event. And then also, I wanted to congratulate a few people in the room that were part of bringing this $80 million new product line to Jefferson City recently. It's Liquid IV. I know some of you are familiar with this product. It's available just about everywhere right now, grocery and drugstore and things like that. But a special shout out to Michael Whelan, who is the general manager at Unilever, for the work he put into this addition. JC Rep deserves a lot of credit. Sorry, Brian Crane had to slip out, but the city worked very hard on this. And of course, the state of Missouri was a great partner as well. Was the county involved, Missy?
Always involved.
Okay. So anyway, congratulations, great project. Susan. So I'm gonna turn it back over to Susan.
Yeah, quickly, did anybody have any announcements around the room before we close out? Quick announcement, yes.
Angie Plavet, Prolific Exteriors. One of the things that we started 2 years ago, this will be our 3rd annual, is our Apple for a Teacher project. We give away a free roof to a teacher in need. Our nominations are open. It's for the Mid-Missouri area. They have to be a public school teacher full-time. You can go to our Facebook page or our website, and we have the nominations open. The main thing is as much detail as we can get for the need. And we have a board of retired teachers that picks the final winner. It's open March 1st to April 1st, and we will award in May. Our first year was a Jefferson City teacher. So, just wanted to
Anybody else, quick announcement?
So YP's annual wine event, you guys should have some flyers around in front of you. It is coming up. It is, I'm sorry, April 11th. It is going to be at Special Olympics, and this year we are sponsoring Special Olympics. So they will be our benefactor for the wine event. It is $50 per person, or you can get an office pack of 6 tickets for $275.
So open to all ages.
Legal ages, yes.
Yes,
Yes, I just want to remind everyone of the Merle Able Book Sale out at the Knights of Columbus in St. Martin's next week. It's the 13th through the 16th.
Good, good. Anybody else?
On behalf of Special Olympics, thank you for that sponsor.
Of course.
Our next municipal election is April 2nd. Voter turnout for our local elections tends to hover between 12 and 15%. And I think that we as Jefferson Cityans need to do better and pay attention to the leadership so that we can help projects like this move forward effectively. So mark your calendars for April 2nd to vote if you live in Jefferson City for your next city leaders.
Yes.
Anybody else? Okay. Okay, with that, we'll see you next month. Second Friday, I'm checking off the April 12th. There you go.